Ding-a-ling-a-ling, a ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Hey.
Hey, are you getting ready for Christmas already?
God. You know what? Christmas is going to come here way sooner than either one of us wants to contemplate.
Well, if you ask the Ingalls family, it's already here.
You
Just
know what?
ask them.
I'm so done with them.
Are you?
Well, I come to a good place with the Ingalls family.
Yeah.
Because I had that, I had them issues.
Yeah.
And now they just annoy me. I'm just spending too much time there, and it just annoys me.
Oh, gotcha.
Why, is it all Christmas there?
Well, yeah, right over beside the Halloween pumpkins, you can get some Christmas paper. And there's several Christmas things. Every week there's a few more things for Christmas popping up. Interesting, though, I haven't seen a lot of Thanksgiving anything. Nothing.
Well, I just don't think as a culture we're as thankful as we ought to be. So maybe we don't celebrate that enough.
I guess. Well, the whole Thanksgiving, the reason that we were given to celebrate it, to me feels kind of like we were lied to a little bit. It wasn't all wonderful for Pocahontas, was it? Or here. So yeah, if we might need to transition the holiday to something that's more real, maybe.
Well, in my spiritual tradition, as I often say, we do all that stuff at the equinox, the fall equinox. Yeah. And we call that harvest home. And we do all that. Yay! Look at all this good food. Look at all this good harvest food. Yay! And then, I don't know, I've always kind of ignored Thanksgiving, really because it's this family holiday.
Yeah.
And, me and my family ain't but so close no more. So I'm kind of glad to let it go.
Yeah.
Let it die.
Well, any excuse to get together and cook and eat as a family, is going to be all about it in my family. Now, I don't know how much longer we can count on that, because as my mom's generation dies, my generation is not cohesive, and I don't know that we're ever going to get together as a family for Thanksgiving after that. But right now, I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it while I can.
Well, yeah, absolutely. My husband's family, their big thing was 4th of July.
Oh.
And they would do this big, because it's a family of immigrants, Italian immigrants. So 4th of July was just this big, very important time in the 2 generations ago when they first came to this country.
Yeah.
And as the elder generation died, the whole celebration died too, because the young'uns, they just weren't all about it. That's all there was to it. They just weren't interested in that. And it's sad, I think.
It is, because those are some of the best times of my life anyway. I can remember more about those holiday get-togethers and stuff than most other things. And it's because they were important. And it was good to be, even if I didn't get along with everybody, which I did actually, I was lucky, but I would still say, even if I didn't get along with all of them, it's kind of important every now and then to remember where I came from, what my roots are. And I don't have a big problem with that, but I think a lot of folks do nowadays. I don't know how it happened that our generation, my generation, just kind of forgot to do stuff like that. Some of us still do, but more and more folks I see are just kind of moving away from it.
Well, honestly, I think for a lot of us, we were just so glad to be away from toxic family.
Yeah.
That we let some things go that we probably shouldn't ought to have let go.
That's true. And I will also, I'm aware that I do it, and a lot of other people do. We've got the family that we were born with and the family that we choose. The family that we choose is not always related by blood, if you know what I mean.
Oh, it's rarely related by blood.
Yeah, well, I was trying to be nice about it. Yeah.
I hear you though. No, that I think that's absolutely true.
Yeah. And I just don't think that people are feel guilty about it. Do you? And I don't think we should either.
Yeah. What? Yeah, there ain't no point in feeling guilty about something like that, about choosing healthy people who love you.
You're right. Exactly.
Or even slightly unhealthy people that love you.
Well, they can be really fun. Those are the fun ones.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
So I found a stupid television program that I've been, I don't know what you call it, binge watching.
That's what I call it. If you've been watching it constantly.
Well, it's my laundry folding show. Is what it is. When I do laundry, I'm like, I do laundry for the world. Okay, I've got a lot of laundry in my life. When I sit and fold laundry, I turn it on, and it's called The Miracle Workers. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I don't think I have.
I guess it was from TBS originally, but it's got Daniel Radcliffe, who was the guy. He was Harry Potter. Okay.
Right.
And it's got one of my all-time favorite actors, Steve Buscemi.
Who died this year, didn't he?
No, I don't think
No.
so.
All right, never mind.
I hope not. And it is hilarious. Oh my God, it's hilarious. If you see it offered anywhere and you have the 30 minutes to spare, watch it because it is funny.
Well, what's it about?
Well, the first season starts out kind of filling you in on what it is, which Steve Buscemi is God. Okay.
And, how funny.
Yeah. And let's see here how it describes it. An American anthology comedy TV series created by Simon Rich, blah, 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 with the first season being blah, 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 blah. It's based on a novel called What in God's Name? And it says premiered on this and that. It's you know what, it's not really telling you what it is, but basically he is God and he is hilarious. Daniel Radcliffe is absolutely hilarious, and he is an angel. Daniel is in the first series. Okay, hang on a minute here. Daniel. Yeah, Steve Buscemi. And so God decides he's going to destroy the earth. And Daniel Radcliffe has to figure out, because Daniel is one of the angels that work in heaven, and he has to figure out how to save the earth. And that's all I can really say without giving too much of it away, except that it sounds really typical, but it is not done the typical way, I promise. It's funny. It's kind of dark humor, very dark humor, actually.
Yeah.
So, along the way, trying to save the earth, they caused some tidal waves and some, things. Of that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it's just dark humor. It's kind of, I guess, what I go for.
What does that say about you?
I don't know. It says that I have an appreciation for a dark turn of mind.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
I didn't that make it just sound okay then?
Yes.
I follow serial killers. Do what?
Made it sound almost normal.
Almost normal, yeah. Well, there's not any big in your face violence to it, but it does have some violent topics and stuff. And I was looking because I've got that YouTube TV. Have you ever heard of that?
I have, yeah.
So I've got this YouTube TV, and I decided to take some time and just look and see what else in there. And I started putting stuff up in this queue as if I was going to watch this stuff, And I was looking, it's like, oh, my classic favorites are all violent. Tombstone, which is a stupid movie, but it's visually pretty, and I like that. It's the only movie I thought Val Kilmer was he knocked it out of the ballpark, and it's the only time I've seen it. Yeah, so I like that one. I like the Beastmaster. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw it though.
Well, they're all violent, so I shouldn't be saying a word on this podcast about violence, should I? And people who watch too much violent TV, I should not be saying a word. Anyway.
That's right, because you have said a word about that, haven't you?
Yeah. I listen to myself sometimes and I think, really? I'm not that dissatisfied. Honestly, I'm not. It's just the subject. But like today, I'm in the best mood and I'm looking out the window and listening to the wind. Got the window open and I'm seeing this most beautiful, bright gold tree outside. And the sky's getting blue, and there have been some lenticular clouds today, and they were pretty.
Oh, how nice.
Lenticular. Yeah, I like that word.
Lenticular. Well, it started out so gray this morning. And, I did that dark moon thing last night. And afterwards, and this is unusual for me, I usually sleep during the full moon. I sleep like a baby. I know, it's crazy. And usually dark moon, I'm really restless, but I had not slept the night before.
Yeah.
And so I did that dark moon thing. And then I just watched a little bit of TV. And then I just got into bed and I slept for like 8.5 hours.
Wow.
That's not like me.
That's great.
So, yeah.
How do you feel when you get up? Did you feel
like heaven? Yeah, I feel great today. So
that was awesome. Yeah, I can't say the same.
Though.
Yeah, I cannot say the same.
You had a restless dark moon, didn't you?
I did. I had a restless night of sleep. That's a good way to put it. And just a lot of things that are kind of beyond my capability to describe. It was, just restless. Just of everybody.
I know what evil lurks in the hearts of men. The shadow knows.
Where's that from?
The Shadow, that radio show, The Shadow.
Oh, thank you. Who knows what evil lurks in the
hearts of men? The Shadow knows. I missed my calling. I should have been like a 1940s radio drama voice.
That would have been fun. I've seen video that they took of some people who were doing those radio voices and sounds back in the day.
Well, and periodically some modern person will decide they're going to reenact a 1940s radio drama, and it just feels stilted and weird and artificial. Yeah. But boy, you see those like you're talking about I don't know why they would have been filmed, but they were. And everybody's all dressed up. Mm-hmm. Now you see people doing voiceover work and they got some jeans and a t-shirt or whatever on. But back they all got dressed up pretty and it was cool.
Well, that's the way it was in general then, though. Nowadays, you just hope they're wearing pants, or if not, they don't stand up,
Oh my God. I'm not going to say where I came out of because I know these people are not listening to this podcast, but I don't want to, I wouldn't want to be hurtful if they were. I came out to my car and unsurprisingly, there was somebody parked on either side of my car and they were both cars full of people were getting into their cars as I'm approaching my car. So I hit the beep, beep button. It beeps, beep, beep, beeps. And all people in both cars kind of jumped up like, oh, we better hurry and get in the car. Well, one of them was a couple, and probably they are married to other people. I'm just saying. And they were making out on my driver's side. I'm on the passenger side of my car.
Oh, wow.
And just going at it. And I kind of smiled at them like, oh, yeah, young love, sweet, whatever. His damn pants were all the way down to the tops of his thighs so that I could see his bloomers.
No.
I swear to God, my first thought was, y'all should just get in the car and do it.
Well, let me ask you, did you see anything you shouldn't have seen?
No, and the funny thing about it was that this just shows you my mind is always in the gutter, is that I thought they were just being, touchy-feely. And then I realized, oh no, that's a fashion statement that everybody in town gets to see his damn underwear.
Oh. That's not a fashion statement.
It wasn't about her literally getting in his pants. They were just, as they say in Britain, snogging. They were kissing and fondling and hugging and all that kind of stuff. And she wasn't. She did not half undress him. He was just half undressed because that's the style. And I just thought, holy moly, Byron Ballard, you're old as the hills.
I don't mind nudity, and I am pro affection, and I don't even mind public displays of affection, but sometimes it's just overkill. Sometimes it's like, y'all, if you just want attention, why don't you go somewhere and make a TikTok video?
Go, kid, and go to TikTok, but don't show us that because I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
But it just reminded me again of how damn old and out of touch I am.
I don't know that you're old and out of touch. I really don't. It's just that's your preference. People out of touch would, well, I don't know. Maybe you were out of touch on purpose. God.
Maybe. It was hilarious though. It really was.
Did y'all streak when you were in high school?
Yes, and well, not in high school, I guess in college we did that.
So it was a thing back then?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm not going to call his name, but there's a fella who used to own property up in Weaverville that was part of his family's property. And we used to get naked on his front porch and then run to the adjoining property that his parents owned. It was hilarious.
What would the point be? I mean, was there people who would
be
see
naked? Just to be naked as paper.
Yeah, that part I understand that too. The streaking part, I never did really understand why anybody would want to just be naked in front of a whole bunch of people. I mean, I never did get that as a youngster. As an older person, I understand there's this thing called exhibitionism, but that didn't seem to be what it was.
Well, no, but golly, I know some people, and again, I'm just telling all the stories, but I ain't naming no names today. I know some people, they just love being naked in front of other people. It's not that it turns them on. You know any people like that?
That have that as a turn on?
Yeah.
If I don't know that it's a turn on for people. If it is, I know I know a fair amount of nudists, and I remember walking in on this relatively well-known musician many years ago who was coming up to play a festival. And I came into that place to get some posters or something, and he heard a noise and he walked out, and there was a bedroom back there. It was like a green room, and then they had 2 or 3 bedrooms, and it was a little apartment and stuff. And I guess he heard me back there and didn't know I was coming, and he walks out to see what was going on. He was completely naked, and when he saw me, he had the exact opposite reaction. And that's the funny thing about it, because most people, if they weren't expecting, if they were naked and they realized somebody could see them, most people would kind of take their hands and crouch and bend in, and maybe cover their crotch or something with their hands, right?
And maybe back out of the room,
or something. He just took his hands and he threw them up like he was going to meet Jesus in the rapture. He just went, whoa, like that. I guess he was awfully proud.
So funny.
Yeah. Well, that was his. So he must have that fetish or something.
Oh my God, that is too funny, girl.
I'll never forget it. But I'll tell you what, it's kind of sad that it happened because, yes, I can now say that I've seen his teeny peeny, but I'll throw that out. Yeah. But he evidently got so embarrassed about it because we didn't talk anymore after that.
Oh,
I know. It's a
but I
shame.
mean, were y'all kind of friends? And then that.
Yeah. He was actually the one who turned me on to Crocs. He gave me a pair of Crocs, the brand new pair of Crocs.
He should be punished for that.
No. No, my feet love him still. Yeah. So I've known him for a long time. And yeah, so I was kind of sad about it, but I also kind of understand. If I'd been him, I would have been, a little embarrassed too. And it was just that reaction, that whole throw the hands up thing.
I love that. And the way you described it, threw the hands up like it was the rapture.
Yeah. Isn't that what's going to happen? They're going to throw their hands up towards heaven and they're going to slowly slide up to heaven.
I throw my hands in the air. I throw my hands in the air. Yeah, I don't know.
And then the only thing that's going to be left, according to, I think I'm telling you right, I might not be, but the only thing that'll be left will be like their clothes and stuff. Because they'll be in a robe of bright white light after that.
I'm looking forward to snatching me a good car when all them people get raptured up to heaven. Because I know I ain't going to be one of them.
There was somebody that I read about that was organizing a pet, some sort of service to take care of your animals after the rapture. You could pay her for it.
I thought that was a joke, though.
It might have been a joke. I'm gullible. Ask Ilsa.
Hey, Ilsa.
Hey, Ilsa.
Hey, y'all. It's Gomez the Yard Man. You know the gals pretty well by now. They've told you all about themselves and about life up on Wyrd Mountain. But now they want to know about you. What makes you weird? What makes you WYRD? Tell us about your weirdness, your weirdities, your weirdisms. We promise it won't go any further than this podcast. We'll even keep you anonymous if you like. Find them on Facebook. Just look for WYRD Mountain Gals, then tell them about your weird side. Go ahead. Don't be shy. Here, I'll make it easy for you. I'll go first. Oh, I've been waiting for years to get this off of my chest. Sometimes, when I'm all alone, I like to think about the time that
So sieht es auf der Sozialverband.
And that's how I got this tattoo. Whew, I feel so much better. Thanks for listening. And now, back to the Wyrd Mountain Gals show.
So I think we did ask around the weirdlings to see who was near Chattanooga. And I think we've got a couple of folks that are, within a couple of hours, but I really wouldn't ask them to drive that far unless they just wanted to come hang out. How about you?
But I know a bunch of people up around Knoxville up in there. Yeah. And I know all them lunatics over near Nashville and Middle Tennessee. So, once we've got a Facebook event thing for that thing in Chattanooga, I think we'll get some people in there to see us.
That'll be cool.
I had a full house when I went to do that little book signing and a mini class in Oak Ridge. I mean, that room was full of people. Yeah.
Wow. That's
and
cool.
Most of them weren't people I knew.
That's cool. I thought you knew everybody.
No. Oh, no. Thank God I don't. I know enough people right now to keep me busy.
I know. It's after a while it becomes I don't want to say a burden, but it becomes work after a while.
It becomes work. And I'm not going to lie about this because it's October. It's the season of the witch, blah, blah, blah. And frankly, it used to be worse because I'd get phone calls from all over the Southeast because I was one of the few out witches anybody knew 20 years ago. In October, I did a lot of, interviews and stuff like that. But so it's not like that anymore. And it certainly ain't like the October that I got sicked on by all the damn Baptist preachers in the area. So I'm busy, but I ain't that busy. But, as you well know, you know about that, the Earth Religions Awareness Week proclamation.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that. Anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not so bad now. It's just busy. But and this as well as I do. They are good people, they are sweet people, they are people in need. But every time I get a message, and y'all, I'm apologizing for saying this out loud, and please don't take it the wrong way, but every time I get a message that says, I know you're really busy, but I sighed, that one of those deep gut sighs, like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is,
Well, I know it is. And I myself have been guilty of doing that to you in the past. But
well, yeah, it's just that I'm kind of people's mama sometimes. And they feel like they can, if they're in a jam, they can come to me, and if I can't fix it, which I often can't because I'm not their mama, at least I'm gonna be sympathetic, because I am pretty sympathetic about a lot of stuff.
Well, you are
not stupid people. Now we have established that I am not at all down with the stupid.
Well, I think that you shouldn't look too closely then at anybody, because there's so many of us that are the stupid people.
Yeah.
And we never know it.
But no, I don't think that's true. There's plenty of people that may not know about a particular thing, but I can't say that I know more than maybe a handful of people who are genuinely just stupid. Like they can't help it stupid.
Have you noticed that in the South, the word ignorant has a different meaning than stupid?
Yes, it does. In fact, it's pronounced ignorant.
That's right.
How did you get so damn ignorant?
Yeah, it's a big insult to be accused of ignorance. Is an insult that's like goes down your ancestral line, even your family upbringing and stuff.
Like it's not just you that's ignorant.
Yeah,
it's you and your whole damn family's ignorant. That's the kind of thing that starts a blood feud, my friend.
That's it. That is the truth. So somebody had asked me if I was, and this has been a while back, it's like a year or so. They asked me if my family had ever been in any feuds. I was like, what?
Oh God. It was from somebody from off, wasn't it?
Yes. And they wanted
course.
to know. Yeah. If it was all about corn liquor and Hatfields and McCoys down here. And I said, no. We have corn liquor. It's part of life.
And those people need to look up what the Hatfield McCoy feud was all about.
Right. And they weren't even around here.
Right. Well, and besides that, it wasn't what it's been painted to be, because they made it sound ignorant because they just wanted to piss on Appalachian culture one more time.
Yeah.
But it's a fascinating story. And I am pretty damn sure that you will find a link to it and you will put it into the post when this thing comes to fruition on Sunday. Yes, but yeah, that was all having to do with blogging and just all kinds of stuff. Yeah. It was very, very convoluted. But yes, of course, that's what people thought, because all we do here is drink corn liquor and cook meth and wear hats, straw hats with holes in them, and overalls, and we go barefooted, and we have bad teeth, and
we carry a rifle with us everywhere.
Everywhere.
Not a pistol, but a rifle.
Exactly. And if you're lucky, it's a double barrel shotgun, because that's my favorite.
Yeah.
But a double barrel shotgun is pretty damn heavy. And they used to be, and I don't know that we still do it anymore, but used to be in Asheville, because we are what we are. There'd be a big old rally once a year of women being topless. And it was organized by the Raelians, and you can link them up to the Raelians. Discovered that in North Carolina, women can be topless, and that's the law of the land in the old North state. So this group, the Raelians, which is just really a bunch of pervy men, would organize this women topless downtown day, and all the gawkers and the peepers and whatever would come and see these women with their titties hanging out. And I always thought, but wouldn't it be funny if instead of doing that, you got a whole bunch of women to be topless? And because what you can also do in North Carolina is carry a long rifle right on the street. So what if you got a whole bunch of women to just walk through downtown Asheville naked from the waist up, carrying a double barrel shotgun? Now, I think that'd be pretty damn funny.
I love that thought.
It's like, here's all my rights right here, right here.
I love that thought. Naked and carrying a rifle.
That's right.
Maybe,
First
I think
Amendment,
we should start that
Second
again.
Amendment. Yeah, well, we should organize that. And we could call one of our breasts First Amendment and the other one Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Well, look at my amendments, boys.
You got your eyes on my amendments.
Right.
Oh, do you hear the crows?
My amendments are down here.
That's hilarious.
Oh, God. I can't believe I can even laugh about this. And there'd be these people, there'd be these women who'd be like, see, look at me. Look, I'm free. I can do it. And it's like, you could do that any damn day of the week. You could go to Walmart right now with your boobies hanging out or hanging down or whatever your boobies do. Right now, because it's not against the law. But no, you have to wait till some man's organization tells you to do that and gathers you all up in one place so that men can drive by and ogle you.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it gets big. Doesn't it get big press? Doesn't it usually get big press?
Yes.
I remember. And you know what? This is awful. Okay. This is awful. But I remember the first or second, some of the first years that you started hearing about it on the news. I was at work, and I'm often the only girl in the room because of the type of work I was doing. And they were talking about it. And somebody said, they were asking, are you going to go look? Are you going to watch it? Are you going to go watch it? And most everybody said no, they weren't going to go watch it. This one guy said he was going to go watch it. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go see them. I'm going to see the movies. And the next day, when they asked him about it, he was strangely, weirdly not enthusiastic anymore. And he said, he finally just has said they were the ugliest women he had ever seen. And it's like, okay, that should not be funny. I should be getting offended by that. I know I should. But the way he said it, it was like he couldn't win for losing. He could finally go see some women and their boobies, and they didn't do it for him. But anyway.
Well, and I imagine this person you're referring to was, in fact, a very fine specimen of manhood himself.
Oh, this person had not ever been able to date.
Right. He was a damn troll, wasn't he?
Probably in his 40s and still living with mom. And so, never really dated before, but he just sounded so defeated. It was just like, and the rest of the guys were like, no, I'm not going to go see that, and to their credit, at least one of them said, I've got a wife at home. Why would I want to go look at that?
That's right.
But this one guy, he was the one. He was, oh yeah, I'm definitely going.
Well, I'm glad it did not live up to his pervy expectations.
I know, but wouldn't you think that on some level, the ones who were going topless would know to expect that? Or is that
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh,
okay?
yes.
All right. So I don't want to judge, but that was kind of my thought sometimes is, well, I'm sure they realize that there's going to be guys there ogling, whatever, oogling them.
Well, and you got to check, I guess, check the reason you are doing something. Does it really empower you? Does it make you feel good as a woman to be able to do that? Or, why? What about it? What about it feels right to you?
I know.
You just want to air them out? Because if you just want to air them out, you just go hang your clothes on the clothesline.
I was going to say, you don't have to have an audience to air them.
They got a little bit of vitamin D. I'm good to go in now. But and I'm being a total hypocrite too, because I do a couple of, and soon to be 3 different classes that I do at festivals where this is allowed, and I do them in an open front robe, naked as a jaybird.
Yeah, but there is a difference between being in a private community setting and teaching a class that has to do with that subject. There's a difference than just being in a public walk.
Well, thank you. That makes me feel a little less pervy.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're not pervy,
thanks.
but just not about that subject, though.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
And
you're
look
liberated. You're truly liberated. That makes you.
I wish I was. I guess I'm as free as any 66-year-old woman is.
Your attitude is.
Yeah. Mostly it is, I guess.
It is for sure. So who feel good about that?
Y'all, in the pre-show, we talked about how we're going to do the part 3 of death, going to talk about Samhain. And here we are. We must be in the Southern Hemisphere because we're having all kinds of trashy Beltane talk today.
That's it, I guess so. Well, there's that solar eclipse today, and maybe it's opened up some
I thought the eclipse was yesterday.
I honestly don't know.
And isn't there another eclipse that's happening on Election Day?
I don't know the exact day. Yeah, I don't know anything anymore. I barely know what day it is. Who are you? What am I doing here?
What I've started doing that I've not done in a long time is I've started keeping a journal again. I did that all during COVID, but mostly it was just an excuse to write down how many people had died in the country, in the state, and the county.
Right.
And to keep track of that. And I'd write something about the weather because I love to put that in a journal. And I just thought, I'm going to write a journal again. So I got me a little notebook out that I started years ago and never done much with. So I've been enjoying that. And one thing that it does is that I know the date every day because I write it in my journal.
Well, that is very smart.
I think it's pretty damn smart.
You said one time that you didn't really have any instructions about what to do with your writing and stuff after you were gone.
And
I remember telling you then, what a shame it would be if it just disappeared. I hope somebody will get a hold of it and turn it into some sort of an archive for you.
Oh, Lord, I don't know. I haven't decided yet, and I probably need to because I'm making all those kinds of decisions these days, but I'm just going to ask my daughter sometime, if she would have any interest in reading them, once I'm dead, then I'll keep them for her. I'll put them in a box with her name on them. She can have them.
Yeah, there you go.
Because, I don't think I did anything that would make her feel ashamed. Embarrassed, yes, definitely, but ashamed, I don't think so. So I'll ask her, and if she goes no, I may just burn them all, or I may just put them in a box for her anyway, and then she can open them when I'm dead and decide for herself then.
Yeah, I think that's a smart thing to do. I do. I think that's a real smart thing to do. So, but I'm glad you're not just saying burn them, because We can't all write, and we don't all keep journals.
I got to tell you though, I've got so many journals. I've probably got 40, 45 journals. Because I've been journaling I'm old. I've been journaling a long time.
That's nothing but good. I'm telling you.
Well, I tell you what I would never do is go back and look through them.
Really? How come?
Oh, God, no. Oh.
Because of regrets or because you're busy?
Because I got too much to do. I'm too busy living right now to go, remember back in 1987. Whatever.
I remember 87. Yeah, one of these days, our robotic companions that will be with us everywhere will just automatically document everything for us. And until then, though,
you know
what?
I can't stand it that you say that with such glee. I was like, well, my robotic companion, blah, blah. It's like,
it's a done deal. It is a done deal.
Damn creeps. You give me the creeps, lady.
It's true, though. It's like, how you have to tell people about tower time, and it's not pleasant, but it's also true. It's the same thing with this robotic companion stuff and this AI stuff that I gripe about. It's a done deal. We can't fix that. It's done. So privacy is gone. And the computer overlords could appear at any minute. I hope not. But it's kind of like the environment. We screwed that up so bad. I don't know how we could ever come back from it. God, we're pleasant today. So we did talk some about death. So we kind of, did our usual thing.
Well, I think we were going to say a few words about Samhain, which is the holiday, the holy day that we both honor this time of year. And it's what Halloween was based on.
Yep.
And it's an old Irish and Scottish, and I don't know what other Celtic lands it comes in. I know the Welsh have a different name for it than Samhain, but it's all about honoring the dead, and there's all those things you can do. Like, I love, and we used to call it the dumb supper, but that we discovered was pretty hurtful to the members of our beloved community who have hearing issues. So since then, we start calling it the silent supper, and that's where you come with your family, whether chosen or blood, and you have a big meal together, like a Thanksgiving meal, and there's one place that is left empty, and all of the best bits of the food are put on that plate, and that's for your ancestors. And you don't speak during the entire meal. And it's really, I haven't done one of them in years, and it's just a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah, it is. I don't know that I've ever done one. I don't think I have. But the thought of it is wonderful.
Well, let's put it, why don't you talk to your robotic companion and tell them to remind us next year to do that?
You want me to do that right now?
Oh, dear God.
I would not do that in front of you. I would not. But
well, my daughter's got all that damn technology, and she will. She's got a little robot vacuum cleaner, and she's got a little robot that turns the lights off and on, and she just has to say, I don't know if it's Siri or one of the other damn robots everybody's got. She'll just go, time for work. And it will immediately go to the radio station that their dog likes to listen to. And it will turn out all the lights in the house except for just a few for the dog. And it does, does all this stuff to the house, and she just walks out the door and locks it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what would happen if it ever went really wrong, because there's houses that you can't get into without having one of those companions.
I saw 2001.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yep, I did, Dave, and I read it.
Dave.
That spooky voice.
Dave. Nope, it ain't for me.
Nope.
It's hard enough to get in my house now.
That's the thing. Well, I never worry about the spirits and so, well, not, maybe I shouldn't say that, but It's the humans that I don't want coming into my house without my permission most of the time.
Oh my
Wait a minute.
gosh. Yes.
I better not say that either, because that's not true. Let me think about it. Okay. I don't want anyone coming in my house without my permission. That's better.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good way to put it. Neither beast nor fowl, neither spirit nor flesh. Yeah.
That's
Not
very
without
cool.
my permission. Ain't nothing without my permission.
That's right.
I'm the boss. I want to be
That's
the boss.
That's you want to be the boss. There you go. Well, so for the folks who are listening, today would be Samhain or Samhain Eve, I guess.
Oh, right, because y'all are hearing this on Sunday.
Yeah. So if you're listening, yeah.
I mean, the way I look at it, I think of it as at least a 3-day festival, and there's plenty of people who do lunar Samhain, and that happens, like old Christmas is in January, and lunar Samhain is sometime in November. So I just figure our ancestors did not have calendars in the way we think of calendars, and so they would look at where the trees were and the leafing, and they would, it would be after they had driven the animals out of the high country and brought them close in and all of that, and they'd go, well, let's do the big feasting on 3 days from now or something like that. So I'm just not. I don't think it's important to do it on a particular day, but some people do. Some people are real particular about that. And that, that's good if that's what they prefer. I don't have a problem with it, obviously. But so it could be Samhain Eve, but I think for me, Samhain is November the 1st. So October the 31st at sundown marks the beginning of Samhain for me.
Yeah. And you're right. Some of them do it different. My oncologist does it different. He does it the old way, I guess. But yeah, so there you have it. The best time of the year. Do you have a tradition, a Samhain tradition in your family that you do every year that just kind of gives you that Samhain closure?
Oh, I don't know that there's any one thing, because I do a lot of Samhain. So I do my ancestor altar, which is up and dusted off and stuff, and we decorate the house for Halloween, which I feel is very different than Samhain. And again, that's something else. Some people just wrap all that stuff together, but I don't. For me, Samhain is a pretty solemn holiday.
Yeah.
And it's all about, looking to the past to make sure that the future is a little clearer and brighter, and it's honoring them what brung you and all that stuff. So I don't go in for all the gory or silly or all that stuff as part of Samhain. I mean, that's fine for Halloween, because God, if you could see my living room, it's a bunch of crazy stuff. But so Samhain for me is a season, and I will celebrate the season of Samhain probably all the way till beginning of December, first week in December. Then I'll start prepping myself for the winter solstice.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
So it's all a season for me. I don't believe in that 1 or 2 or 3 days. Just enter into it and see what it has to reveal to you and what you can learn from it.
I would agree. And the time of year just feels different, doesn't it? Especially if you're somewhat aware of the history behind the time. For me, anyway, that makes a big difference. Yeah. So this last week, I've spent a lot of time looking backwards without realizing it. And I know that you're not supposed to, but I certainly did. I went to my 40th high school reunion.
And we have not talked about that. Tell us all about it.
It was bizarre.
Tell us how you want to tell us about it.
Well, it was bizarre. And there were some activities going on the night before, but the official reunion was on Saturday night. We saw a lot of people that were kind of expecting everything was going to be the same. It was a very well attended reunion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was at Mills River Brewery. So, of course.
I hear that's a pretty place.
Yeah, it was fine. It's a brewery. And there were just a lot of people there. And in the beginning, they kind of were all in their expected groups. You know, the cheerleaders over here, and the athletes over here, and the musicians over here. But within an hour or two of it happening, they started changing that out. And I didn't go inside because I'm not comfortable with groups right yet. I just didn't feel comfortable with it. So I didn't. I stayed outside. And some of it was me watching. And there was about, I'd say probably 50 to 100 people outside. More than that. Yeah, it was well attended. And interesting to me, I saw some of the folks, like some of the football players came in and they were wearing their leather jackets. And I thought, what? Because they were wearing their leather jackets from high school. I guess it's because they could still fit into them, you know. And yeah, I wore my class ring. That's all I had left from high school was my class ring. But I saw a lot of photographs online in the little group, and I saw some video where the cheerleaders had gone to a football game the night before, and they'd gotten out there and done their own cheers and stuff from 1980 or something. And it was interesting to see the folks. We've all aged, every one of us, but some of us have aged a lot better than others. Some of them.
You were one of them, weren't you?
Well, I was recognizable because of my hair. I don't know about the rest of it, but there was some folks that looked like they'd been rode hard and put up wet. They've just been through a real hard life, is what it looked like. And there were some that were really, you could tell that it was a huge emotional thing for them to come to the reunion.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm real glad that those people did come to the reunion, because I know that high school is not pleasant for a lot of people. And they don't want to relive high school. And a lot of people say, no, I don't ever want to go back. But I feel like it is important to get closure about stuff like that if you can. And even if you don't go to that person who bullied you and say, hey, you bullied me, you might be able to go to the reunion and see how that person, you're doing better than that person now.
Right. And, you know, you could be very proud of yourself that you don't poison that person's drink.
Yes. Well, and I'll say that since I started going to these reunions, I have made friends with some folks that I never thought I'd be friends with. They were not in my group in high school. If you get a chance and you can go to your class reunion, I recommend it. And it's the time, do something brave. If there was something that scared you in high school about some person, make it a point to walk up to them. You're grown up now. Just walk up to them as the equal that you are.
And punch them right in the face.
That's right. Oh, no, wait, we can't say that.
So that's about all I've got to say about any of it. I feel like, you know, it's gonna keep either getting better or getting worse or staying just the same.
Mm-hmm. Well, me too. And I hear Mr. Crow. Can you hear him out there?
Yes.
He wants some food, so I think I'm going to get going.
That sounds good.
Because he knows I'm here. He can hear me. Oh, they're both out here. Oh, cool. Well, listen, Byron, you behave yourself.
I'll try to. And you go give them some lunch.
You're going to get some bologna. All right.
Oh, boy.
I'll talk to you soon.
Y'all be good. And happy Samhain. Celebrate it however feels right to you.
Yes.
With yourself and your husband.
All right. Hey, thank you for spending your time with us here at Wyrd Mountain Gals. We sure do appreciate it. You know, I know time is the most important thing we have, so I promise that if you take your time to listen to us, we'll take our time to continue to be weird. Many thanks to Sunslice Records for all the help. We couldn't do it without you, Craig. Check out our social media for information, community, or a few laughs. WYRD Mountain Gals.
WYRD